All right, we got this 2012 Ford Escape here today, and the customer has brought it to me because the cooling fans just run all the time when the vehicle is running. So I did take a look at it and sort of gathered some data. When you have the key just in the on position, they don't run, but only when the vehicle is running. Now, this strange thing happened when I pulled it in. The air conditioning high pressure blow-off valve ended up releasing some refrigerant. So I know that there's some extremely high pressure built up in the air conditioning system. So what we're going to do is just hook this air conditioning machine up to the system here. I want to see what kind of pressures we got. I'm assuming that we're going to have some really high pressures. And what I think is happening is the pressure sensor is obviously picking up the high pressures in the system, and it's turning those cooling fans on. Now, why the system is producing such high pressure, I don't know. But let's start by hooking this up and seeing if maybe we can evacuate the system and see if that stops the fans from running. And if it does, well, then we can go into the air conditioning system and chase that at a later time. Okay, so we've hooked up the air conditioning machine now. You can see we have way too much pressure on the high side. We are running 375 PSI. We should not be that much. Usually you're about 80 and 80, 100 and 100. We should be equal. So there's definitely a restriction somewhere in the system. So what I'm going to do is recover this, take all this refrigerant out of here, get these pressures down, and then we're going to run the vehicle, and I should expect those fans not to turn on now. Now, like I say, I'm not actually fixing the problem. Obviously, there's a restriction somewhere. I'm not exactly sure what. I'm going to have to take a look around. There might be something wrong. Maybe the compressor's starting to fail and there's debris caught up in something. I don't know. But we will get this sucked out, and hopefully that at least fixes the fan issue for now, because wintertime is coming and we do not want those fans running in the wintertime. We want this thing to get up to operating temp so that the person can have heat and drive like a normal person and not be waiting for the heat to come on that's never going to come on. So, all right, go ahead, fire it up. Okay, so we can see the air conditioning compressor clutch is not engaging. It is sitting stationary, and the cooling fans are no longer on. So that lets us know, obviously, as we've seen on the machine here, that we had excessive pressure. So there is a restriction building up somewhere in that system. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but the next step obviously would be to pull some lines off, do some inspections. Who knows, the condenser might be plugged up. Could be, who knows. I'm gonna guess it's the condenser, but we won't know until we pull it apart. My guess, it's full of metal filings. And, you know, I actually did a compressor on one of these, the 4-cylinder model, not too long ago. So you can go ahead and shut that off. So that's what's going on. If your fans are staying on all the time, could be because of this air conditioning system is overcharging or over pressurizing.